Unfortunately, everybody has to listen to me initially. I want to thank you all for showing up today to honor my father. I'm going to say a couple of words, and if you believe a southern boy is only going to say a couple of words, I have some swampland in Louisiana I'd like to talk to you about. Aside from just family and friends who are here, I know there are also other veterans that are here, and I want to thank you for coming. I very much appreciate that. Everybody that's a veteran, raise your hand. I want to give special thanks to the Louisiana Department of Veterans Affairs. They're the ones that created this medal. It is the Louisiana Veterans Honor Medal. It was created in 2008 by the Louisiana Legislature. The intention is to recognize and honor all Louisiana veterans. I also honor him for just being my father. I want to thank also the New Mexico Department of Veterans Services for kindly agreeing to present this medal, because this is a state of Louisiana medal, but since my father lives here, the New Mexico Veterans Department has kindly agreed to present the medal to him. I especially want to thank Secretary of the New Mexico Department of Veterans Services, Timothy Hale, for being here to present the medal. I also would like to thank Josetta Rodriguez, Executive Administrative Assistant at the department, for helping me set this up. I want to thank the Beehive Homes of Santa Fe, Angel Malone in particular. I also want to thank Shauna Gonzalez, the manager at Beehive, and all the staff who take very good care of my father. My sister Laura Gresham from Atlanta is here. My other sister, Connie Rodriguez Gantz, and her husband Larry Gantz from Phoenix are here. And that's a long story, and it has to do with the fact that my mother liked Italians very much. I also want to thank my wife, Renee, for taking care of my father as long as she did when he lived with us. Now, Peter Joseph Cascio, he says Cascio, I say Cascio. It's a lifelong battle. He entered service January 11th, 1943. He tried to go in right after Pearl Harbor, but they wouldn't let him and told him to go back to school. His date of separation was January 10th, 1946. He was a technical sergeant, radio mechanic, fixed station. He was with the 3,545th Signal Service Battalion. He is from a proud family of Sicilian immigrants who were honored to serve their adopted country. His brothers who also served were Johnny Cascio, he was in the artillery in World War II, Angelo Cascio, he was in the Navy in World War II, Anthony Cascio, he was in the Army in Korea, and George Cascio, who was also in the Army in Korea. My father primarily served in North Africa, Casablanca and Marrakesh in Morocco. I've heard stories about being in the Atlas Mountains. He was also stationed in the Sudan and a small island in the Pacific Ocean, or the India Ocean, which we are still trying to figure out which one it was. To get to North Africa, he flew across the Atlantic in a B-24 bomber sitting in the back. Before going overseas, he was stationed in New Jersey, where he would periodically go into New York City, and he has told me stories about seeing Frank Sinatra on stage at the Paramount Theater with the Andrews Sisters, and he had to pay all of 25 cents to go in to see that. People often ask me if my father fought in the war, and he didn't officially. But being a feisty Sicilian boy who had sometimes a problem with higher up authorities, he got into a scrap or two, and some of them ended up in the hospital. This guy never did. I don't know how it was that he got honorably discharged after all that, but he did, which is why we're here today. Now, Amber Care, which is a hospice organization in Santa Fe, which also comes by and takes care of my father, has a little presentation they want to make, and then I'll turn it over to Secretary Hale, and he'll present the medal. So, you guys go ahead.
I'm Mary Fight. I'm Pete's nurse, and this is Bob Chavatal, our chaplain. And we have a new initiative that we're really trying to honor our veterans with Amber Care, and hope to give all of our veterans an award and a plaque. And it just seemed like a wonderful opportunity today to be able to give it to Pete.
So we want to express our gratitude to you, Pete, for your service to our country, and we have this certificate here for you.
So it says, Amber Care Hospice, we appreciate our veterans, Peter J. Cascio, or Cascio, of the United States Army. We pay special tribute to you for your military service to America and for advantage the universal hope of freedom and liberty for all. That's for you.
And we have this prayer we want to share with you. Peter Cascio, we thank you for your service to our nation. Thank you for the sacrifices you made and your willingness to serve our country. You endured hardships and you were willing to risk your life to maintain our freedom. On behalf of our staff, the VA and Amber Care Hospice, accept our thanks and gratitude. And we know that the nation is deeply appreciated for what you have done. You gave for peace with courage so that families may be free, so children could grow strong and safe wherever they may be. And in giving for the sake of peace, you may have suffered loss from causes that sent some away to fight that we may freely live. May remembrance of your time away and your sacrifice for peace spur on us to strive more strongly for freedom. And with gratitude, we thank you.
We have a pin for you.
And we're not done yet. And now I would like to introduce the Secretary of the New Mexico Department of Veterans Services, Timothy Hale. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. You know, it's a great day whenever you can come out to honor one of our veterans. My dad is the same generation as Pete. In fact, he was in the same area of operations, AOR, when Pete was over there. Now, when Pete was off having those fights that his son and his daughter talk about, my dad was over there having those fights too, except he was running the boxing program for the Navy and the Army in North Africa. And I'm sure that he and Pete probably crossed paths a couple of times. But it's great to be able to honor our veterans before they pass on. So often the only time some of the families will hear the stories about their fathers, their parents, their uncles, or grandparents is at their funeral. And today is one of those opportunities when we have a chance to honor one of our heroes while he can still see us, feel us, hear us, and know what it is that we're talking about. And Pete, we're here to honor you on behalf of the state of Louisiana. But what the state of Louisiana does is they express the gratitude that is in the heart of every American for especially your generation, the greatest generation. But it's for every veteran that you stand and you take this honor today. And I'm glad to be able to stand with the state of Louisiana in honoring you with this medal that we should be presenting to also our veterans in New Mexico. And we are working to get a medal for New Mexico, and I hope maybe next year I can come back and give you the New Mexico medal. How's that?
Thank you.
Well, this is a wonderful honor from the state of Louisiana. If you've not seen this before, it's a beautiful medal that comes on a blue cord that we're going to hang around Pete's neck. And you can wear it for as long as you want. The nurses can't tell you to take it off. But this is something to honor you for your service to our country. And we thank you for that. So Pete. On behalf of the state of Louisiana and also from the state of New Mexico, and as a proud veteran myself, thank you for your service.